there, but I don't go there now because I work from home. So this office was opened, and iMedia is the parent company for Fatu Show.
Yep.
I spoke to Dominic Mendy and say, you know, I want a proposal. I'm trying to find out if a talk show is possible in the Gambia. And then he asked what kind of talk show. I said something like the Oprah kind of show, and what's the name of the Tyra Banks kind of thing. He said, okay, let's do a feasibility studies. And he did that and got back to me and say, well, I think it's possible. And then I called few people and say, okay, I resigned from the U.S. Embassy. At first people are like, you resigned? Because definitely the pay was really good.
It was good, yeah.
You know, resigning from a very well-paid job to go and start your own business was a bit risky. Some people think it was risky, but I said, this is what I want to do, and that's what will make me happy. So the few people I spoke to when I started, they were like, are you sure you want to do this? Don't you think it's a bit too early? Don't you want to wait 6 months and then you start after 6 months? I'm like, well, why do I have to start after 6 months? Because I spoke to Grts already. They've given me the green light, and I know television all my life, so I just want to start. And then, you know, at some point you have some people say, but don't you think when you start a talk show, the government will stop it? I'm like, but why? I'm not doing a show to attack the government. I'm doing a show to talk about social issues and address social issues. So I don't think it would have anything, you know, that would make the government stop it. So I just went like that.
So at some point, when you left the American Embassy and then you decided to do the Fatu Show, iMedia, were you worried at some point that this might actually fail?
Well, when it got to the point where we needed money, and it was difficult because, you know, when you start something new, it is hard for people to trust you.
Yep.
Some people will be skeptical. They'll be like, okay, this person has started this, but how far would it go? So we did not have sponsors in the beginning. And it was a bit shaky, but that time, Honorable Fatim Baji was the Minister for Communication. She was very, very supportive. I spoke to her and said, I don't have money, but this is what I can do. I want to do a talk show, but I don't have money. And I spoke to Alaji Motusanyang. He was also very supportive. I think, you know, they spoke amongst themselves and said, okay, let's start it. So we started the show, and we went to, that time we were filming at Paradise Suites Hotel. And Auntie Ami and her husband, they also contributed a lot because they were providing funds to even give us some of the things that we need. And after a while, the government came in, the Women's Bureau, through the Office of the Vice President. They came in and supported us. And after the Women's Bureau, a GSM company, Afrisal, I know it's Comium now, but you know, we have to talk about it because they started with us. They also came in and give us some money, and we started with that. Then the money was finished, and the show had to continue. And GRTS was like, okay, we understand, but you know, it's expensive to run a TV station, which I understand very well. But then the government came in again and said, the program is nice. People love the program. Even though there is no money, let her do it. So that's why I'm always very grateful to the government and say, thank you very much. It's 4 years. Thank you for your support.
Now, when you started the Fatu Show, was it the original idea you had in mind? Did you expect it to be Fatu Show as today, or you had something different before you started?
Well, actually, the involvement of the people, the participation of the people that I wanted, I'm still not getting that. Because if you look at it, it is so difficult to get people to interview on TV in Gambia. They'll be like, oh, you know, I'm not comfortable. And because Gambian people worry too much about what other people think about them. You know, somebody will say, if I come on TV, other people will call and say, hey, this person was on TV and this is what they say. So that makes it a bit difficult. So that's why sometimes when I meet people and they say, you should make GRTS more interesting, I said, it's not us. It's the Gambian people who should come forward because we are ready. So I wanted people to participate more and talk about issues that would be sometimes, you know, about that affect other people's lives. Like people will send you emails and talk about how they're treated at home and how their, you know, their partner would abuse them and stuff like that. And you say, would you like to come and we talk about it? They'll be like, no, then my in-laws would kill me. So it's a bit tough.
I know it is, but how do you feel about being a household name in Gambia? All the kids know Fatu Show. Well,
it has its advantage and its disadvantage. I love children because I know they are my #1 true fans. I love kids because when they say we love Fatu, it means they love me. You know, kids don't lie. So that's why everything that I'm doing, I always try to, you know, to put them in. Like if you could remember the other show that we had, we paid school fees for two children. And this time around with Comium, we're planning on paying for 15, but we don't know because the kids show that we had, there were 3 other kids shows, so it wasn't that big like it usually would be. but we are trying to see we would sponsor. Maybe if we cannot do the whole 15, we will do up to 10. Being a household name in the Gambia, like I said, it has its advantage and it has its disadvantage as well. You have a lot of people who would love you and you have a lot of people who would not like you, which is not a problem because you cannot force everybody to like you. But at least what is more important is to be professional in dealing with people. I try to do that, and it's also sometimes hard because I have feelings too. And when I get angry and display and people are like, no, Fatu, you know, you're a public figure. I'm like, I'm public figure, but I'm human too.
We have a text here from somebody. We can't pick up the calls because we can't do that on the phone, but if you send your messages, we'll be able to read them. This is from 6649422. It reads, hey Fatu Kamara, you look you're really looking good. I wish you a happy Grts and family. Happy anniversary from Teres Lopi. Thank you very much for that, Teres.
Thank you.
Fatu, what are the challenges that you face?
Well, the challenge is sometimes
working in the media.
The challenges will be funding. Like I always say, I talk to all these MDs from banks especially, and say, you are not doing advertising. You are not advertising anything. You are not sponsoring anything, and you're all operating here, and you want us to give us our money. Like you open a business, 5, 6 banks will come to you. They all want you to open an account with them. But are they supporting you? Are they doing any business with us? No. So these are some of the challenges because media is expensive.
It is.
Media is really, really, really expensive. Cameras are expensive. Editing suites are expensive, so funding is always a problem, getting money. We have ideas to do big things. Lamin Manga and I have spoken about these things, Mo Black and Banky, all of us in the media, young people in the media, Harona from Mediamatic, we all have very big ideas, but the problem we have always is getting the funds. We can do big things on TV, we can do reality TV shows, we can do documentaries, we can do a whole lot, but provided that the companies are also very supportive in working with the media.
All right, we'll have a quick short break, and when we get back, Fatu will tell us how television has changed her life as a person. We'll be right back after the break.
Good evening and welcome to the Paradise Suites Hotel and welcome to the maiden edition of the Fatu Show. This is the first edition and today we're going to talk about patriotism.
Welcome back.
Oh my God.
How do you feel?
Oh my God. We definitely came a long way. I'm just sitting down here looking at these videos, watching these videos. And you had the first one. When we came in, we wanted to talk about patriotism, the love for one's country. Yep. That was the show that we started with, and you know, we came a long way. It's very difficult, you know, to be constant in all these things that you're doing for 4 straight years. You know, I'm excited.
You're
I
emotional.
cannot believe this. I'm like
you're
mixed
very
feelings,
emotional.
everything.
Tell us, how do you think this has changed your life as a person?
Well, how it has changed my life, it makes me well known. Right? Like I always say, it's not only the Fatu Show, but I've been on television since it started in 1995. So it's a long time, and a lot of people know me since that time, but the kids got to know me, more young people got to know me when the Fatu show started. And it is a good thing because it gives me opportunities sometimes. Like when you go to meet somebody, it's always easy. When you say, the secretary, the moment they announce Fatu wants to see you, Fatu show, you're always like, okay, let her come in.
Yep.
So you always have that thing from people. And, you know, of course, sometimes we have our own issues, and we try to be as professional as possible. Yep. But